a meeting with Electro Board not long ago, and I asked them to tell me about some of the new things that were going to come about in technology. I'm going to do a presentation about this kind of thing at the KEGSA conference in July, so I wanted to see what was coming up and what was going to be happening next. Amongst other things, one of the things that came up in the conversation was something called augmented reality. The understanding of the person I was talking to was that you would have your document camera, or your visualizer as I like to call them, and you would put a box underneath the camera and it would turn that box into something, maybe a dancing skeleton. And I said, oh, okay, right, that sounds good, but why? Why would we want to do that? And I don't think either of us really understood what it was that we were talking about when we were talking about augmented reality. So I came back, and being me, I had to find out. So I did some research and I found some really cool stuff that I know geography and history teachers are going to think is awesome. What is augmented reality? Well, in fact, I've had augmented reality on my webcam ever since I bought my new one a couple of months ago. Augmented reality is about taking what you see in front of you and then enhancing it, adding things. So, for example, on this webcam, if I want to, I could turn myself into a pig. Now, I'm not actually a pig, but this is augmented reality. I'm adding something to reality. You know, I could give myself a beard or rabbit ears. I could even give myself some really funky Dame Edna Everidge glasses. These things are not actually here. I'm augmenting reality. So how can I use this to enhance education? Well, there's a company called AR Sites who have come up with something absolutely awesome. And without needing a document camera, although if I do have one, a visualizer, I might not be able to have some funky glasses or a cat's nose, but I can have the Eiffel Tower in the palm of my hand. That sounds cool, doesn't it? Here's the AR Sites website, and that can be found at arsites.com. On this website, you can download the application that I'm going to use today for free. You can download a marker, which you'll see me use shortly, for free. And you can download the place marks that built themselves into Google Earth. So as you can see here, this is Google Earth. And all over the planet are these little eyes. And these eyes indicate that there's a 3D augmented model that you can use in your classroom. So you can see that all over the world there are major destinations that we can go and explore. And that's why this is really awesome. So let's have a look at how that works. There we go. So I've turned on my AR media layer, which I downloaded from the website. The file is an AR media KMZ, and I double click on that, and that will put this AR media layer in. So now when I go to Tower Bridge in London, here we go, on our little adventure, you can see those eyes that I showed you earlier. If I want to download the 3D model, what I do is I come to the layer and expand it, and I pop myself down to Tower Bridge in the list. You can see the whole, there's loads of them, and I can save this model. I can save the models into a folder. So when I run AR Insights, I get to choose which of those 3D models I want to run. So I could download them all before my lessons, so that they're all in my computer, and at any time I wouldn't need Google Earth anymore. I will need the internet, and I will need some kind of document camera or webcam. A webcam is absolutely fine and is what I'm going to be using today. So you have to have your webcam or your document visualizer plugged in. I'm going to browse for something that I've already downloaded, and I've created a folder here in my documents called Augmented Reality, and in here I've got the Eiffel Tower and I've got Tower Bridge. Let's go to France and go to the Eiffel Tower. I click open and then I click start. Of course I've got my camera connected, so I click OK and I just wait. I choose my webcam. I've got a Logitech 600 attached at the moment, and now it's downloading the content. Now what I have in front of me, which you'll see in a moment when the software starts, is a piece of paper, and this piece of paper has a box on it. Now I wasn't imagining a box like this. It's happening already. It's literally a piece of paper that the camera can pick up the symbol on the inside, and now I'm holding the Eiffel Tower, and I can turn the Eiffel Tower around as long as I keep it in contact with the camera, and we can have a good look at this place. But this is augmented reality, and this is what's coming next. I think it's going to be really cool. Now imagine if you were doing a project on the ancient Romans and you wanted to show your students 3D models of the Colosseum or any of those things over there in Rome, Or maybe you're a French teacher living in Australia and you'd really like to show them something like this in a little bit more of a realistic way. Imagine that this was combined with a 3D projector. Could get interesting, couldn't it? But there's a whole heap of these that you can use in your teaching. Okay. Now, if this was a document camera or a visualizer, then this would be pointing down at my desk, wouldn't it? And this square would be constantly underneath it. So I would never have a problem where I would lose contact with it. This surface would never change. Like I'm at London Tower Bridge now in London. Okay, so I've got 3D models of all of these key places, and as long as this is flat and the camera can see it, I tip it a little bit, I can have a good play. London Bridge, Tower Bridge, London, back home. Taking you to France, taking you to London. Perhaps I should take you to Italy or to the Colosseum, or we could go and explore an ancient civilization. Okay, let's go to the Pantheon in Greece. Wow! 3D model. Can we see on the inside? Let's see if we can. Oh, look, can you see on the inside? You see all the walls on the inside and all the windows. So you can have a good look at this model in 3D. Now I'm waiting as an English teacher for someone to do this with the Globe Theatre. So my request to AR Media, if you're watching this, is when are you going to do the nice London Globe Theatre for me so we can have a good look inside? Because I'd really like that. That would be great. You can see all the detail is really good. Obviously it would be much easier if my hand was not actually my hand, it was a visualizer and a document camera, because then I would always have it flat. But there you go, you get the idea.